Welcome to Community Watch. And today we're having a fascinating conversation about local and national history. Stay tuned. Community Watch starts now.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg, how are you doing?
Just fine, brother, and yourself?
Well, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I guess I'm getting used to Zooming. I don't
You
know if
should be
that's
a you
I don't
should
know
be
if
a
that's a
pro
good
by
thing.
now.
Uh, yes, but I do kind of miss seeing folks in person. Maybe we'll get back there eventually.
I do, but the silver lining in this cloud is that Zoom do offer us the opportunity to interview people that are not local. So
That's true. That
some
is.
good things always come out of something.
Well, I know we are excited today to have a special guest. Bishop Norris Allen is here with us today, and I know he is going to tell us about a pretty unique event that is uh, coming up very, very soon. Welcome to the show, Bishop. I hope you are well.
Yes, well, we're doing great, and we wish you all continue to be well as also. Yeah, mhm.
Well, tell us a little bit about the event that's coming up. I believe is it this Saturday?
Yes, it will be January the 9th. Yeah, we are having a program. It will be held at Camp One Saran. Now, this program is held by uh, the Students of Excellence Scholarship Foundation, which was founded in 2013. We founded in 2013. Well, we have it every year in January, and most of the time it'd be around the 15th, but due to the fact it'd be so close to the Martin Luther King celebration, we moved it up 1 week. And it will be here at, like I said, Camp One Run. And at this particular program, um, we're gonna focus on Kamala Harris. This program will be talked about a right to celebrate. And the students of excellence, what they'll do, they have this event, and Kamala Harris, being the first woman slash the uh, excuse me, first first vice president elected in the United States of America. So that being said, we are excited about it because she also was a sister of the K, AKA sorority. And what's going to happen during this event, we're going to, Miss Sammy just came in, I see on the, it will be celebrated to crown her queen, that sorority, 21 to 2021. That's what it's all be about. I can go forward if anything else you selling. This would be that. And also, let me mention this before the program start at 1 p.m. It will be a tour of the history display, which is at the camp. And that being said, we do have over 1,000 pieces of history at the campsite, and history from 1863 all the way to 2020. So the student actually is excited about it, and which we are excited about the hosting uh, this event here at the first time. And this would be the grand opening to all the camp as well. The camp would be the first event ever held at the Camp One Saran.
Now, Bishop, I'm curious. Now, exactly where is the camp located?
The camp located is 175 Hasty Road, Rome, Georgia. It's 30161. Now, it's, I don't know whether you know where my resident located, but it's at the resident before you come down to 209 Hasty Road. That's where my resident located. So it would be, the camp is located on the road. The center stage or the camp is at the main road. And, it would accommodate like up to about 150 dining areas. It would consist of that around the pavilion. And like I said, the pavilion have a camp site there along with it called the mini golf. Also range would be also there. That's where located on the Hasty Road, Rome, Georgia, at 30161. And that's 175 Hasty Road.
Well, I have quite a few questions, but before I get to them, I want to welcome Ms. Willie Mae Samuel, who has joined us. Ms. Samuel, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes.
great.
Well,
None of my machines wanted to work today, so
Well,
thank you all for going on ahead with it.
Well, you found one apparently that is working. So that's
I
great.
did. Thank you.
That's great.
Yes.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. This, I believe, is the first time we've had you in our Zoom world, but it's great to have you back on.
Thank you so much. And thank you all for making the adjustment and the accommodation so that we could come on with his having this event Saturday, the 9th of January. We just really, really needed to get in and at least share some of the information that that he's sharing with you about this camp that's going to be officially opened later this year, but at least this event is going to be held there. And I know he's already told you about the 1,000 pieces of literature and different documents that he will have to show the campers who are going to be coming. So it's going to be a wonderful event, and looking forward to sharing some of the things that are in that. He called it his man cave, but it's filled with everything that he has collected over the last 50 years or even longer, I'm sure.
Yes, that's right.
Well, before we get into the details of this Saturday's event, I would like to know a little bit more about the camp and what is the history of it and what are your thoughts and plans for it in the future?
Okay, the camp is have selection of all the range of history, like I said, the civil rights, social, economic, and it's full range of things now. And this started back when Abraham Lincoln, when he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Then from that time, I came up with a lot of the material that related to human rights, social change, and it goes on and on. Now, it would be a camp that, like even the local here, it's a local and international history. We have collected a lot of historical sites in Rome would be part of the collection, and the person that broke the glass ceiling over a period of time, they would be a part of it. Like, and also we, and that person was the first to break glass ceiling would be. They also is in the collection as well, but it is like it's already been stated. We have over 1,000 pieces of history for every president. Abraham Lincoln now, but we skipped when we had got him and started with Eisenhower. Always Eisenhower to President Trump. That is the collection of the president pictures and something about them. And we felt that it's a private camp. We felt that it would be very helpful for, first of all, this community where I grew up in. And we invested here in this community something that we feel that will give us light on this community. And it is a 5-star I'm excited about camp. And so that's basically what it's all about. And for the young people that will be coming 2021, let me back up. It said 2020, we intend to have it, but it was canceled due to the COVID-19. So this year, the camp, we're hoping that we'll be able to open in June of 2021, if the national guideline will permit, because we will always follow science, medical science, in order to open that everyone will be safe. And also, every event that we hold here, it will be social distant. And even this coming Saturday, we already got things in place to have a registered nurse here to take fever. We're going to have security. We're going to have social sitting distance and up to about 100 people. And this is the reason why this particular camp do have a good history. I happen to be the third person. It goes back to where the camp located on a piece of property that I bought from a former slave owner. That's how it come. And then that part of history will be on display, and then it come into the 20th century, the 19th century, and the 20th century. And so we're excited about it. Miss Samuel, you may want to say something about it. I think she was able to see a little bit of all the display, but since she's been here, it's been expanded quite a bit.
Well, I'm excited about it because I see it as a little historical site because of all of the material that you have gathered and you have put together for display for the young people to go. And, you know, the Saturdays that you plan to have it open, children going there to just examine the material. And of course, there'll be other things that they can do there on that Saturday. But it's unique in that I don't think we have anything in Rome that will equate to what will be done at that camp and the history that you're trying to present. Not just Black history, but just history, period, as you have gathered it over the years. And it's going to be an exciting place for our young people to go and examine material and have assignments, whatever concerning, because our children aren't reading as much now as they once were. Maybe this COVID sending them home to do their virtual learning is causing them to do a little more reading. I know my granddaughter is doing a little more reading now than she was then, but it's going to be a time for our children to go on a Saturday or whenever you plan to have it open, or when we can have it open, and examine materials and share ideas. And you have a stage? There'll be staging performances and various things will take place there at that camp, and we are looking forward to the grand opening.
Let me add to what Miss Samuel said. We thank you, Miss Samuel. Also, the class will be focused on history and advanced reading. We all understand that being persons of color, our student will need to be focused on in reading quite a bit, and that's good. Not only this is a diversity camp, and let me mention this too. I know you're all familiar with some of my history. I know Brother Shropshire, but I do have 16 students. Now, the 16 student is one in Ethiopia and all of them all over the United States, America, different location. And this was the first year we had one to graduate. And she, Neil, is at Berry College now. And from this point going on, we have sometimes 2, sometimes 3, but mostly years it'll be 2. So we decided, and then the camp do consist of a playground with a few amusement things to ride on, and some invented by me. I call it a spin, and it goes 2 people around and around. That's on there. And the playground is named after one of the students, which is in Ethiopia. So that's how that part worked. And we think it'll help young people.
Bishop, we're going to have to cut for a break here right now. So
Okay.
We want to hear the rest of those details, but we will take this short break and then we'll be back with much more in just a minute or so. So stay with us.
For 50 years, Georgia Highlands College has been a community that takes charge. At GHC, we have a mission to provide access to an outstanding education, meeting the career needs of the region, and helping our communities thrive. Every student we graduate becomes a celebration we never forget. We are more than Chargers. We are Chargers taking charge for 50 years and beyond.
Welcome back to Community Watch, and we are having a conversation with Bishop Norris Allen and Ms. Willie Mae Samuel about an event that is coming up this weekend, but really, as always the case whenever Ms. Samuel is a guest, it's about much larger events and issues. And Bishop, you were telling us about the camp that you are opening, I guess, officially in the summer, but this event coming up this weekend is sort of a preview to that opening.
That is right. To let people know, really, by that time they'll know how the camp work, and they'll see the history part of the camp. And let me mention this clearly, that the persons that are coming, we're going to follow the social distance real strictly. Won't be nobody go into what we call display area, the history area, unless they are family member or part of the family. Like if you're one family, one person, you go through. Nobody else goes through. Then if you got 3 or 4 in the same family, they will have opportunity to go see the display. And I'm not selfish, but we're going to protect everyone. No touching the display. You know, you can have readings in certain parts of you know what's going on, but not going and touching anything. And some of it you can't touch because it's security. But we're going to follow the national health guidelines, such as masking and everything else I mentioned a few minutes ago, that nobody here will be, affected from coming to COVID-19. We are not going to be no COVID-19 spreader. I assure everybody that, because we're going to have our seats not to be moved. They be on social distance, stage to be a certain distance from them. And, and that, by the way, we're not going to have no dancing with this, but we do have a dancing area at the pavilion area. We'll have a dancing, just presentation. I want to honor the women's. It's all about women now. No, this will be the first event I ever didn't give the men's in the recognition. It always been women's, et cetera, et cetera. But this particular event will only be women have shown and appreciate their contribution to this community and to this state and to the nation.
Bishop, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I heard you talking about the history and the display. And when I think about the time now, the turbulent time we're going through, and I consider them turbulent, one of the key things I think that is missing a lot of times is historical context for us as a nation, and specifically for African Americans. So I'm curious, when you was putting this together, was that kind of your focus? Because so many of our young people, but we just can't even say young people, so many of our people, period, I feel lack historical context and proper historical knowledge of our struggle. And so when you was putting this together, what was the impetus? What was the reason behind creating this kind of historical camp and display?
My focus were really to, like you just stated, because a lot of our people do not know the past history of the thing that this nation has faced this nation in race relation and other areas that we're facing right now. And if you come here and look at this history display, you'll find out that I kept up with all the social change thing back from Abraham Lincoln through all the way through the areas where even back when Jim Crow law reversed it in the 1820 something. I can't look at the date right off, but I do got it in documentary there in the display at the museum. You'll see all kind of icons. I think I have over, over 100 icons, and by that being said, I've been able to talk with them and be able to write some points that's very important, like Walter Fauntroy, founder of the Black Caucus, and we met him and we talked, sat down, and I can just go on and on. I don't take a lot of time naming all the things that's in this display that would be beneficial to persons that need to know what brought us to this point in America today, what we came to get there, and how long it took us to get there, and what is happening now. Like I said, this display go back from 1863, but also it tells a lot about even up to 2020, the things like John Lewis, how he was able to sit down and talk to him off his own, and I won't name them all. Jesse Jackson. These are the people that you reference to. We need to know. Our young people need to know. You cannot appreciate where you're at now unless you can know what happened in the past. So this is a presented, and none of this fiction. This particular display is all real. It's
No
not
fiction.
non-fiction. It's non-fiction. That's right. It's not nothing you made up. A picture tells the story. You can see it there. Okay.
Well, the presentation itself has a focus on women.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about what led to decision to have a program focusing on women.
Okay, 2020, the women vote. Now, this election said 2020 was the highest percentage of women vote in the history of our nation during any election. And not only now, I know the Black women vote was up in the 90s, about 90s, anywhere in the 90s. And that particular area, it brought my attention, we should focus on women. And also not only Black women, but women in general. More women voted. We know that by the number of voters in the Republican and Democrat primary and also the general election. We know that for the facts. I got the figures on how many. Like 70 in the late 70s in the Republican, in the middle 80s, millions. Late 79 million Republican and 85, 86 million in the Democrat. And what that told me, by me keeping articles in the paper and things facing up the nation, I kept up with the numbers. And that's the reason why we are focusing directly on the women in this particular presentation, because of Kamala Harris. And we got her record, how she came through with breaking glass ceiling. And she was elected the first woman, Black woman, elected the vice president of the United States. And that is the second highest position of office in the land. So that's how it came about. Now, like the city commissioners, let me even bring it back down to this. I even got in my display like the first person that I let people come and see elected the chief of police in Rome, and then I got the second women. These are women. I'm focusing directly on women. All the women that been elected, no matter what party they're affiliated with, whether it's Republican, Democrat, Independent, or whatever. I would like to show a light on their accomplishments, because this is all about the 2020 women vote. 2020.
Bishop, you know, with the focus on women, I'd be remiss to be honest. This is probably long overdue by a lot of organizations, in that in our community in particular,
Right.
Black women have led the charge and carried a lot of the weight for decades. So if we're going to be honest, this is a long overdue recognition from a lot of organizations. And I think it's very fitting, being the election of Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. But I'm also I'm very thankful, because I do think sometimes we forget and we fail to recognize people. I remember one time in Rome, we had about 3 Black VPs in banking here in Rome.
That is right.
And I don't think a lot of people knew that within our own community. So we've had women throughout time that have held some very powerful positions. And I don't know that we've ever really given them their flowers and recognized those accomplishments publicly. But so
Gregory,
I'm honored that
thank
you're
you.
doing this.
Thank you so much, Greg, for always being so supportive of things that we in this community come up with. And I really appreciate you and appreciate your insightfulness as you share. So I noticed Jeff is saying we have a couple of minutes, and I don't know what has to happen, but we need to close out, I guess.
No, we got about 4 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a little time left. I want to make sure that folks know the particulars about the event as well before we run out of time, though.
Right.
What time does it begin on Saturday? And you've given us the address once, but we probably need to hear it again.
Okay, this event will begin at 1 p.m. That will beginning of the tour, the history display. And that time lasted from 1 to 1:30. And then at 1:30 p.m. we start the program, and that would be the time that the Dr. Suda Twyman will preside on that particular be the mystery ceremony, and that would be the time we give the presentation. That won't be a long, lengthy program, because I want to be able to let the people know we are trying to have it as safe as we can, and matter of fact, recognize the people we need to recognize. And it's located, like I said, on 175 Hasty Road. Now that's coming off the Moran Lake Road, off the Kingston Road, Kingston Highway. You come to the Moran Lake Road, you make a left, but then come down to a Y. It's a Y in the road. I call it Y road, make a Y. And that would take up the Hasty Road, come over 2 hills. And the second hill you get on the Hasty Road, you'll see the Pavilion. Camp 1, Marquee as well. Camp 1, Sharon, there on the left. And we will have someone to see about parking the peoples, and that then, getting them in a good position that they can, enjoy the program. But it
will be clearly outlined for those who are coming. The minute you top that hill, you'll see the entrance to the park. You'll see decoration. He's got all kinds of lights and things. So it will be obvious when you get to the top of that hill that it is Camp Saron, and it's going to be on the left side of Hasty Road.
We only have 30 seconds, but quickly, is there a cost associated to attend the event?
No, this is no monetary donation. If you'd like to give a donation, it'd be welcome, but it's free. It is free.
Well, we need to close out. We're out of time, but I want to thank you both for being with us, and I hope you have a good turnout for your event on Saturday at 1 o'clock, which will, sounds like you're being very careful to make it safe. And we're looking forward to hearing more about the camp in the future as well. So thank you for being with us.
We appreciate you all.
Thank you all for watching as well.
Thank you, Ms.
Time.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Greg,
Ms.
for making this happen.
Thank you, Ms. Young. Appreciate you.
Bye now.